neglecting all the basics. God so amazing, this what I was chasing. When I was working 20 hours shifts, boy was I crazy. In the hood selling weed, thinking that it's crazy. I was running for the money cause I thought it made me. But God showed a bigger picture, and it didn't get me richer. He made me put the blood down, throw away the liquor. So now I'm walking on this path of life. From the fact that he done died, now I'm here to serve Christ. So thankful for his life, cause he came and he paid the price. Now my life is everlasting, right? My heart contrite. Contrary to your belief, who would see right? We should striving to be the least. Look at hindsight. Life is better when on my knees. Jesus Christ's life, it's the reason that I believe. I'm giving all I got for. I never called you. So many bitches like Huckleberry and some Sawyer. Holly, if you with me, it's more than like the million ballers. Yeah, I say it's more than a metaphor. That's why I gave it up. That's why I'm living for. But it's obvious that nonsense can stop us quick. Like lifting heavy objects without the oxygen. How you contradicting your faith, losing your confidence. But I put my faith in the air. I am an optimist. Yeah, the air of all things. Jesus Christ reign. Yeah, my God is so supreme. I daydream of a day that the mainstream can all get a glimpse of the king. I gave it up for. I'm giving all I got for. It ain't just a metaphor. I'm giving all I got for. It ain't just a metaphor. Just a metaphor. Give all I got to you, Lord. It is just a metaphor. Holla at DG. Man, everything that I do, gotta do it for. This is real life, more than a metaphor. You spoke a parable, just so you can let her know. Yeah, although that we think we can't be doing it, Jesus spoke fluently. Sell all your jewelry. So I'ma give it all I got for. It's more than a metaphor. I'm giving all I got for. It ain't just a metaphor. I'm giving all I got for. It ain't just a metaphor. I'm giving all I got for.
Still there, T? All right, T Spence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tea Time with T Spence and jerry-royce-live worldwide. We're on positivepower21.org with Alcam. That's right, the Christian performer, and recording artist. That's right, he's right here. And we're going to read his bio. We're going to give T a chance to get back in. I think her car may have dropped, but the show is about Alcam, and his bio reads, equipped with high energy and very passionate lyrics, Alcam brings a unique style to the genre of hip-hop. Being influenced by some of the most popular artists of our time, his flow is inspired by many, emulated by none. Alcam is known for his ferocious freestyles, good lyrical content, and ability to make great songs. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, on June 30th, Tyrell Alcam Walker grew a passion for music as a young child. Throughout his life, he continued to perfect his craft as perfect his craft as an artist until the age of 22, when he surrendered his life to Christ and accepted Jesus as his Lord and Savior. I surrendered my life to God and took a break on music so that I could learn my purpose, learn who God is, and learn God's will for my life. Now that I know about the God I serve, I intend to give him all praise and glory for who I am today by telling my life story. And that's exactly what Alcam did in his 2010 debut mixtape. That's right, Raising the Bar. Since then, Alcam appeared on That Is the Beautiful Monster album, No Walls, Set It Off, released his debut EP, Here I Am to Worship. He is currently working on his second mixtape, set to release late fall of 2015, and continues to make music that inspired by his everyday life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Alcam. So Alcam, we were waiting for T. I guess T back.
Yeah. It's definitely my phone. It drops. So I'm trying to stay in one spot. Thank you very much. Do you want me to call you Tyrell, or do you want me to call you Alcam? Because I hear Jerry calling you Alcam, and I don't want to, mix it up. So I want to respect, who you actually, go by. So what would you like me to call you?
No, Alcam is fine. That's fine.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I listened to that track, and it had a lot of, soul in it. And it had a lot of feeling of the whole, kind of like the R&B style, but you bring it in such a way that it touches. You can hear it and you can feel the music at the same time. Now, with you being are you an indie artist, or are you signed to a label at this point in time?
Nah, right now I'm still independent.
Wow, nobody snatched you up yet? Are they sleeping or something? What's up with that? Really, I mean, just listening to the bio itself, and reading through it, yeah, well, maybe after this podcast here, you'd be snatched on up. How about that? You know what I'm saying? From my lips to your ears, God bless, at the end of the day. Can you just give us a little background on who Alcam is? Tell us a little bit about yourself and, how you came about to where you are right now.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a father. I'm a hip-hop artist. I'm a Christian man. So everything that I do musically is inspired by my everyday life. It's inspired by the relationship that I have with God. And how I got to this point, my bio touched on it briefly, but I've always had a love and a passion for music. And I think when I was about 15 years old, I won my first hip-hop contest. I was the only kid in the contest, and I won, and that's when I knew that I could take this serious and really, make some noise. So over the years, I, joined various different groups and recorded music, but something was missing. And I think the biggest thing that was missing was the whole purpose behind it. I've always did music that was purpose-driven, but because of the times and the environment I was in and the way I was living my life, I felt led to, communicate some of the things that will be considered wild and very ungodly. And so I didn't really care that much about what I was saying or what I was doing, but I knew deep down that it had to be a greater purpose. And around that time, God started tugging at my heart, and I got saved, and I pretty much was done with music. I didn't even cut a rap at the time because the whole essence of rap for me was very competitive and combative, was very aggressive, and my whole approach was to destroy my opponent at all costs. to be very vicious as possible. And as a Christian man, I didn't see any room for that type of spirit and attitude in God's kingdom. And as I grew as a believer, I started to realize that music has great influential power. And who am I to say that God gave me this gift to not use it because of my own thinking? And so I began to not lean to my own understanding, but to step out of my surrounding and look abroad and see what God was doing in other people's lives. And I was seeing him use hip-hop artists. I was seeing him use anybody from every forms of art, teachers, preachers. I was seeing him use dancers and all kinds of people that use art to give God glory. And I was seeing people's lives being changed. And so at that moment, I began to pray and ask God, okay, what is it that you want me to do with my music? And through just years of me just trying to figure out, he revealed to me that my music will be for those who either don't have a relationship with God or who's peeking over the fence to try to see who this God is. Even though my music is very uplifting and very encouraging and entertaining to the church, transform power in my music is for those who don't even have a relationship with God. And so at that moment I began to go hard, and I knew if I was going to do that, I had to be really authentic in who I am, the good and the bad. I had to be authentic in where I came from and where I'm going. And then I had to be authentic in how God feels about the mistakes I've made and how have I corrected those mistakes. And so I began to just burn my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, in the mixtape, Raising the Bar. And it was received very well. And, I kept doing music, and then I did the EP, Here I Am to Worship, and here we are today.
Yeah, because I was reading about your mixtape, and, that mixtape kind of like, did it make you turn that corner? Because that was like, an opening. That was like, I am here, recognized, even though you have been out there and have done other music with other artists. That mixtape was something that made people, turn around and be like, what? Who? What is this? Because, it's really deep, and it comes across so strong that it's kind of like you have to sit there and think, like, if you don't listen to the lyrics and you just ride the beat, listen to the lyrics and know what he's talking about. Know that he's talking about a higher power. Know that he's talking about his struggle, and that it's not just a regular R&B hip-hop song. So what did that mixtape do for you? Did it, where were you at that point in your life?
When I did the mixtape, we talking about 2010. I had been saved for about 3 years at the time, and I was really ready to give my gift to God. Really ready to, give it to the Lord and just give it over to Him. Stop trying to control things, and not just in my musical life, but in my life period. I had came from a period of trying to control every aspect of my life as a believer, not wanting to fully trust God. And so, some things happened in my life. God put me in a position where I was pretty much humble, and I had no choice but to believe in Him and trust Him. And out of that situation, out of that trial, comes Raising the Bar. And so, me and a couple buddies from church, we got our own studio together, and I began to record. And I went from not even knowing how to work Pro Tools to being able to mix myself within a matter of a couple months. And so I put everything I had at the time into the mixtape. And
that's amazing. That is really that is really amazing. But the thing about it is, I know that I picked up and I read that, even before you did, at 15, you did that show. You and your brother used to kind of go back and forth because he was also an artist, right? and he used to put on albums and have you freestyle, so you couldn't freestyle no more, right?
Right.
So you were honing your craft since like an early age, like 9. So you had already, like the seed had been planted, right? But it was just budding and growing and flourishing. So with that, your brother helped you along with honing your craft?
Yeah, it all started, I was about 10 years old, and, I was really big into basketball. I didn't even know how much I loved music at this age, and my older brother was getting into hip-hop, and he had a karaoke machine, and so he went to the room. He put me and my younger brother in the room, and he had made a beat, and he said, I want y'all to rap without stopping. And we don't even have anything written down. And we would try to sneak and try to write something real quick and come back, and he was like, no, just rap.
Right, he wasn't having that. He wanted to freestyle, right, off the top of your head. Like, give me some knowledge. Let me see how you can ride the beat. And you just took it and ran with it. I mean, like, at the age of 9, 10, like, that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. And at that point in time, that's when you knew you had the gift? When did you really realize that you had a gift? Like you felt it innately inside?
So he took it to his job to take me, man. He was waiting for some of his coworkers. And when he came back to the house, he was saying that, some of my coworkers really liking what y'all did. And I'm like, whatever. And, he was trying to let me know, like, this is really good for your age. And I still really didn't pay attention to it. When I really knew that I had a gift was when we did that talent show and we won. Because you always get, your mom, your friends, family, they always say the music is good because they want to be supportive and encouraging. Right. When you step into a world where grown men, in their early 20s, mid-20s, you're just a young teenager and you're competing on the level where they're at, you let me know, like, we really got something special. And that's when I really started practicing more, started writing more. That's when I really kind of took it serious. But even through that whole process, I knew something was missing, and it was the whole purpose behind it. At that time, I didn't have a purpose.
Right.
At that time, it was about being on stage. It was about, battle rapping and destroying the opponent. It was about selling a few CDs and making some money. It wasn't a real purpose behind it. And I was lost to the message that I was sending out in my early material, because had I blew up writing that music, recording that music, there's a good chance that's what I would have been for.
You would have still been, in that zone. You would have still been on that road. You wouldn't have took that left, and gave yourself and surrendered yourself. So, at what point in time did you, like, after you surrendered yourself and you knew, because we all have a purpose, we just have to tap into it, and we need to know what it is, because we're not down here for no reason. We're not down here just to walk around and bump into one another and not have a purpose and give back. At what point did you know that was your purpose?
So it gives me chills every time I talk about it. So I real quick, we had a group that right before I got saved, that I was a part of, a big group of us, and one of the guys got saved and he dropped out of the group, and I kept doing music, and he eventually invited me to a Bible study, and then I got saved. Well, after I got saved, he wanted me to come to one of his studio sessions, and so they had a song they was working on, and they wanted me to write something. Well, I couldn't write nothing. Like, I had never wrote anything with the essence of a Christian mind. I didn't even know where to begin, and so I just went in the booth and started rapping. And I heard him and my friends whispering, like, you know, did he write that down? And they were like blown away. They were blown up because they couldn't believe that this new believer didn't write anything down on a piece of paper, but I'm spitting the lyrics out as if this is something that I've always lived. And I kind of knew then. But we was at a later on that year, we was at a skating rink, and it was a big skating deal that they did, and it was a fundraiser for a church.
That's
so,
what's up.
I go outside, and a bunch of guys is rapping in a cipher, and I thought back, this is all I used to do, was rapping ciphers growing up at different malls and on bus stops. And so I decided to jump into the cipher. And about 4 bars in, maybe 6 bars in, I said a punchline, and the whole parking lot just erupted. And it got so crazy that you didn't hear nothing I said. Like, it was almost like nobody had ever heard somebody put the words and ideas together the way that I did from a Christian perspective. And when I saw that video, because somebody taped it, and they played me back the video, and that's when I knew I had something special.
That's when you knew you were something special. You've always been something special, but at that point in time, you figured out that was your purpose, right? That was what that's kind of. It was kind of like something. I'm not trying to put words into your mouth, so correct me, please, if I'm wrong. But it's kind of like that was what was missing, and now you were filled up with that reaction from the crowd and from just, you know, spitting like those maybe 16 bars and writing it out, and people looking at you like, what? Like, huh? And they hadn't seen you or heard of you before, and you coming out of nowhere? That's like a deadly threat, especially to a lot of men that have already been in the game so long and have not been able to even, you know, get their music out there to be heard by anybody. It's really hard especially back then, at that point in time in life. So for you to come and, you know, you were just saved, you're just coming into yourself, you're owning up, you're changing your life, things are becoming different, and here you are. And everybody is like, wow. And you love to perform, so I know when you watch that videotape back, tell me how you felt, because you probably hadn't seen it before and didn't see the passion come out of yourself when you spit those bars and the crowd went wild.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you're sitting in a room or when you're sitting with your friends and you're writing, you don't know the impact that the words you're finna have on the listeners. You just know you're trying to create the best perspective that you can with what you're writing. And when I saw that, it let me know that I've always had a gift, because I would get the same reaction as a secular artist. But it let me know that now that I have a purpose behind it, my gift is even greater. And so I watched that video, and, you know, the average person would think you would get a big head. But I watched that video, and it humbled me, and it let me know that it's time to get to work, basically. You have something that the world can definitely be entertained by, uplifted, and encouraged by, as well as be transformed by. And so it's time to get to work. And that's when I knew I couldn't play around with it anymore.
But you know, when you are doing so well and you're on such a beautiful path, and you know what I'm saying? I know you kind of like you're doing your thing and you're honing your craft, and you know you're in a studio and you're helping your friends out and you're doing blase splee, but you know that the devil's always dancing. So he always is trying to take you off your game. And being a young youth in the inner city, I know you had to be going through a lot of different trials and tribulations that were pulling you in separate ways. So just can you kind of like open up that door for us so we can know, that it's not just, I don't want people to think that it's a cakewalk to do what you've done and accomplish what you've accomplished, because it's a battle. It's survival of the fittest, because when there's one, there's 1,000 behind you. So I know you were dealing with there was gangs in that area, and how is your support system, like at home? What were you dealing with besides your brother digging you up and giving you props and letting you know that you were good? Did you have any other type of support system?
Yeah, my my entire family, they from my mom, who's in her 50s, to my younger brother, who's not even in the church, to my sister, they all love my music, and they love it to the point where they wouldn't run in the living room and say, "Hey, we love your song," but like I would catch my brother at the gym playing my music on his iPod.
Secretly bumping it in the car, right? Or secretly in their room. Yeah, okay, on the road lows. Like, what? And you hear yourself, but is that myself out here? No, that's not myself. Right. Let me go check. That is me. Are you playing me? And then they're going to be like, no, we weren't playing you. It was a commercial break. Right. you know what I'm saying? You must be hearing something. So that's good that you had an outlet and you had a support system, because a lot of people don't have that and had to battle some of the things that you were battling at that time with, being a young youth and being a young black youth. It's so hard these days to try and figure out just you get in where you can fit in at the end of the day, really. But for you to find your purpose, for you to surrender yourself, for you to be able to hone your craft and stay on the straight and narrow, that says so much within itself that you really have to, if you don't want to pat yourself on the back, I'll do it, because I read also that you did an anthem for the Fellowship of the Christian Athletes. How did that feel that when you're finally coming into your own and everybody just wants a piece of you, and they want you to do this and they want you to do that, and they're pulling you in all these different ways, but you're focused. So how did that anthem come about, and what was the anthem about?
Well, so after I did the mixtape Raising the Bar, first I'm going to say this. As a believer, the only way that I've been able to get to where I'm at, and the only way I'm going to be able to get further from where I'm at, is through strong fellowship, family and friends that really believe in what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And hold me accountable. I don't want nobody to hear this and think, like, I've made plenty of mistakes. I've dropped the ball plenty of times, but like I said, I got a strong group of friends who are mature in the faith, who help me wrestle with some of these issues, and that's the only way I've been able to keep going. The Bible says iron sharpens iron, and so without those brothers, without my pastor, without those individuals being those light, when I'm lost in the dark, I wouldn't be able to make it where I'm at. So, for somebody to think that they can just do it all by themselves, they fooling themselves.
Right.
It wasn't designed to be that way. No different than a hip-hop dancer doesn't need a song to dance with, the same way a person who's trying to pursue this avenue in the Christian faith needs other people around them as well. And so we all learn from each other. We all help pull each other up. And without that, I wouldn't have been able to make it to where I'm at. But get back to the story. I released a mixtape here on Raising the Bar, and a friend of mine, he's a pastor now, but at the time he was just a youth leader, and he was speaking at this college. And so they invited me and a couple guys. We went out to support him, and when I got there, I started passing out copies of my mixtape. Well, one of the copies of my mixtape landed in the hand of a group of young college students. And the story is they listened to my entire mixtape from St. Louis to Chicago. And so when he finally got back to St. Louis, he hit me up, and we talked a little bit. He came down to the studio, and he said, man, I really love your music, and I just want to help. And so he was already a volunteer for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting ready to go to a camp soon to volunteer as a camp leader. And so he told me that, what would I think about if I made a song?
Oh.
The anthem for the season that year was Game Changer. And so I had my producer make the beat. I wrote the song. I had him come help me out on the hook. He did some vocals on the hook. And I sent it to him after I mixed it and mastered it. And he played it for all the leaders. And within like an hour, he texted me back and said they loved it. And so they put it on their website as the national anthem for their entire Fellowship of Christian Athletes nationwide camp. And so it was a big deal, especially seeing that I hadn't even been doing music a whole year yet, and here I am creating anthems for Christian groups. Like, I was blown away.
Absolutely. I wanted to hear you say that. I wanted to hear you own that, because when I read that, I was like, wow. Because, at the end of the day, it's like, we're here to help one another. So it was like you were in the right place at the right time. Your life was right, and things just were starting, and they fell into place. And for, some college students that listen to music all day, every day, and they have a variety of it, and, they switch up their minds like, it's nothing to ride out on your music, and then to want you to be and write and do the anthem for them, it's got to be a very heartwarming experience, and for them to embrace you and it went national, and it went everywhere, and everybody just loved it. And you just did it at the drop of a dime. So that within itself should say so much. It speaks so many volumes that you really have to own that. And you really have to look at this, and that's why I asked you about your support system. Because, we can't do this by ourselves. It's kind of like reach one, teach one at the end of the day. And you definitely did that. And as I hear you talk, you always incorporate the people around you that have supported you also into your music. Because you said your boy came and sung the hook. So that within itself, there's a lot of intricate things that go into making a song, with the hook, with, you writing it, with you, with it getting produced, and you trusting the people around you. You seem to always have been humbled and have given back in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite awesome. That is really, really awesome. I think at this point in time, so we could take a pause for the cause. Jerry, before the red light hits me.
Yeah, I'm right here. All right, Alcam, you ready for us to drop one of your hits, brother? You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, we're going to play Riding with the Rock featuring Derek Minor right here on PositivePower21.org.
Right now.
I stay ride with the rock, homie. Won't catch me slipping.
Nah. Hey, funny Underdog like a rocky, but still a champion. I or the tiger, I'm getting strong, and yet it's evident. When my God with me now, who can stop me better yet? I ain't met a person yet. When the rock with me, come and flex. I just thought that you know. Come and kick it like judo. Gotta keep it with me, cause it can have it like a sumo. Taking off like a rocket, shooting farther than Pluto. My father, the reason I do this, and Jesus, the reason I do most. So all hail the king. That boy so clean. That's why I rock on. Geppetto on the string. The beat stay bumping. The drummer stay drumming. My heart beat the different strokes. Call it mystic drumming. And the new genres do something. That face mixed with that hip hop. And I'm a tip top position. No flip flop and no pit stop. Cause I'm with the rock and he with me. No tip top and no switches. There's the top back. There's the something in. Cause he ride with it. You get it. Get it. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. Ride around with that rock. I'm certified affiliated. I bet it cross, homie. I'm trying to imitate them. Been felt that full court press since I crossed over. But the Lord with me. I'm trying to told you. And I fun dog. He died and rose and he run it dog. He gave his life for mine, so you can best believe in me and Christ Jesus 100 all. When it with me, who stopped me? I take them on like a racket. I got that 66. I cock and load and bang when it knock it. I rep that name when it's rocket. Cause ain't no way they can stop me. So I ain't scared to go fed and let it hang. Cause it got me. Let me go hard for Jesus. Not wild as sin. We died to that. And we born again. Go and live like the one who rose to make us better. And hit death with a 2-piece like Mayweather. Feel his presence, bruh. So I ain't gon' never stop. Christ got me on his back like a jersey that it rock. With me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. Ride around with that rock. Yeah, y'all know who it is. RMG, we in. Reach Records, my king. Yeah. Ex-Hustler, my foe. Alcam in my dog. Cashville in my home. Rock hard, I'm a rock star, Mick Jagger. Not because of fame, but the Lord made me hammer. Meaning that I hit the nail on the head when I come through. No, sir, I'm never gonna stagger. I'm never gonna back up. Stand tall when I stand up. Y'all know what I'm on. Never alone. Incredible Hulk is my backup. Every time my mic's gone, then I'm gone in my zone. My focus on my king song. You can bet your life on, no matter my position. They cross all of my vision. Yeah, feel me. Jan Jones like Charlie Sheen, we winning. Never gon' fail. Bet against Christ, never go well. You can put me in the grave or in jail. I'ma go hard with every inhale. You feel the same. I rock with you. That's gnarly, bruh. Rock on, dude. With me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. When he with me, who stop it? Underdog like a rock. Taking off like a rocket. Ride around with that rock.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Positive Power 21.org with Jerry Royce.
And tea time. All right. That was Alcam. And that's his hit.
I am not mad at that. Like, okay, like, that is some, like, down south type of dirty, you know, because I spent some time in Atlanta in the dirty south. I love it. But that was just some type of crunk music. It was just bumping, and you could feel it, and the beat was sickening. So, yeah, like absolutely. And you changed up your style within that whole song a couple times. So for you to ride that beat like that and have that type of passion, you got to know that you're affecting people. You got to know that you're reaching out and you're changing people's lives, and that they're looking for you, and that they're looking for the next thing you're going to come out with. Because I can't wait to hear the third song, because at the end of, this segment, I want to figure out which one I like the best, but that one right there was quite sickening. I'm a switch. It was quite sickening. I'm over here bumping to myself. My dog's all in my face. I'm like, get off me! I'm trying to bump. Like, what's up? But I'm gonna take it a little different. We're gonna go a little softer. I want to pull out your softer side a little bit. You said you're a father, right?
Yes.
Okay, boy, girl.
I got 2 boys, 2 girls.
Okay. Whoa. All right. So with you being a father, that also had to make you very conscious of what it was coming out of your mouth, how you were displaying your character, and you had to know that, now you have 4 little ones kind of watching you every step that you made. So was the transition, was it difficult? Because going from being a hip-hop and listening to that most of your life to just changing over and, not using profanity and not being disrespectful and not, coming out the side of your mouth with stuff that isn't appropriate for people to listen to, how was it for you to make that transition?
Well, at the time, my kids were so young when I did secular music.
Okay.
They really don't remember. So at the time, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't even too concerned with, as they grow up, the music I will make, how would it affect them. I didn't even think about that, and I wish I had thought about that more. Maybe I would have, changed things a lot sooner. But by the time I made the transition, they really wasn't listening to a whole lot of music. It wasn't until 2010 when I released Raising the Bar that they was at the age to understand music and what the music is saying. And they jumped at it head first.
Okay.
They took the CD to school. It was a big deal.
Oh, that's gotta be awesome. Like, I'm taking my daddy's CD, and my folks is all gonna listen to it. Had it all, superstar within your own right, and within your child's eyes. You know what I'm saying? And that's a blessing within itself. You know what I'm saying? To be able to, to have your children look at you in a different light, and you change the course of your journey so that maybe they didn't have to go through any of the things that you had to go through coming up. So, that's good that they had, such a positive influence, and that it kept them, probably in a perspective of who their father was, that they knew that he was in their life, and that you were hands-on. Like, how are they older now? Like, are they, like, older, or just, like, teenage older?
Nah, they not teenage older.
Yeah,
but they old enough to where they like they come to my shows. They watch me perform. They listen to me in the studio. They come down in the studio. They want to play my music.
That's awesome. Yeah.
They at the age where they understand hip hop culture, and they're not blind to what's going on in hip-hop culture. So it's refreshing to see them embrace my music, even though it may not be played on mainstream radio. They still appreciate the quality of it. And so I get them all the time and let them hear my new music, and I ask them what they think. What you think, And, they love it. So they right at their age where it's a big influence on them,
Yeah, because it's really, at the end of the day, like, we really have to be cognizant of our future generation because of all of the craziness that's going on and that has transpired over the past, like even, 2 years now with, I kind of feel like our black men and our younger black men, youth, kind of have targets on their backs because they are being stereotyped and they really don't have, outlets and they don't have anybody to look up to, and not everybody's going to be a basketball player. Not everybody's going to be a football star or a rapper or, an actress or a singer or something like that. So it's hard right now, and I feel for our generation that's up and coming because I kind of feel like to a certain extent that they're kind of lost and they don't know their purpose. And they're just walking around bumping into one another and not knowing that they need to wake up because if they falter, then what is going to come after that? What is going to be, what are they going to have to look up to, and who are they going to look up to? Do you feel like we have enough people that are men that can kind of rear them and get them on the straight and narrow so that they don't fall to the wayside like a lot of them have thus far?
No, I think the workers are few and the harvest is plenty.
Absolutely.
You can never have enough influential leaders in the community. You can never have enough positive role models in the community. And then not even looking at it from a spiritual aspect, but just having those individuals that they can look up to make, right decisions. And when you look at it from a spiritual aspect, it's definitely not enough. We need more biblical men that can take what they're doing in their home and bring it into the communities and inspire other men to be good fathers and good leaders in their own right.
Absolutely, yes. I agree.
So much work that needs to be done. It's something for everybody to do. And what people don't understand is, being able to be a good painter, that could be a gift. Being able to, draw and create sculptures and being able to dance and skate, and all of these things are art, and it can be used for the glory of God. And so a lot of people get caught up on how well somebody can rap or they should be a rapper or a singer, and that's not the only way to perform art. I mean, I can watch a guy come out and, a gymnastics person, and they could, throw flips and do all kinds of stuff and give it up to the glory of the Lord, and that can inspire me. I don't necessarily have to flip to appreciate, his gift, and he giving it to the Lord. And so I think what a lot of people got to stop thinking is that, whatever gifts they may have is insignificant, because it's not. We tend to lean to our own understanding. We kind of put God in the box and limiting what he's able to do. And the reality is he could take anything. He could take a carpenter who builds houses, who's a Christian man, and inspire him to where the young men in the community are starting to build houses and they're starting to live life with him and learn how he raised his family and the type of man he is. And they can look at him and say, I want to be like him. And, Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. The whole purpose of that is, as I follow the Lord and give God glory for who I am, no matter what it is that I'm doing, people are inspired by that. And when they become inspired by that, they tend to want to follow you. And what you do is you point them into the right direction, and that's God. So to me, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's all about how you're doing it, who you're doing it for, and your purpose.
Absolutely. Because, we have a lot of people out there, but for some reason, they're not, I feel like, and this is just me, with everything that went on with, Trayvon Martin and everything that went on with, the basketball players, that people aren't stepping up. Like, at the end of the day, it's about helping one another, and it's about grabbing that person before they fall to the wayside. Because we have a lot of people that are out there that can step up and make a change or help out, but it's like they pick and choose when and if they're going to do it. And I don't feel like that it should be a time and a place. It's about consistency. It's about stability. It's about them knowing that you're going to be there and they can turn to you. Because one, slip and look away, you just never know what's going to happen at the drop of a dime. So when you do your music, is that your way of giving back? I know that you also are interactive with a nonprofit organization. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and how you give back?
Yeah. Well, I look at it like this, T. I can't really think about what the next person not doing or what they are doing. All I can do is do what I feel God is leading me to do and try to do the best at that. I do agree that a lot more people can be involved, including myself. We all can do a lot more than what we do. But I can't really, worry too much about the next individual. I feel like if I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm doing it for the right reason, the right purpose, maybe that'll spark some interest in others and maybe they can follow suit. But the nonprofit organization I started was the Game Changers Initiative. And the reason why I created the organization was to bring awareness for a lot of the school bullying that was going on, a lot of the school violence and things like that. I feel like, it's enough to grow up in a violent neighborhood. It's enough to grow up in an area where, violence is something that's common. And then it's a whole other aspect to go to school and have to deal with it.
Right.
It's sad when I heard freshmen took their life because they was being bullied. Or
it's heart-wrenching. It's just like, wow, really? Like, over something, it's big to them, but it's really, at the end of the day, it's really minute. And it's because somebody is bullying them. And you know what I'm saying? And we're not embracing one another, and it even hurts when I hear about crimes and it's black-on-black crimes. We've already struggled enough. We've already been through enough. Every generation has been through their own fight. So for us to beat up on one another, it's just like, come on, y'all. Can't we pull together? Like everybody else pulls together. What is it that pulls us apart? So by you doing a nonprofit, and, you making it known about the bullying, and you do free concerts, and you travel, and you're an inspiration to a lot of the kids that, hey, like they maybe with what you're saying affects them, and they can stand up to that bully. And maybe that bully's never been stood up, like that before, and have backed down. So within your own right, you are giving back in so many different ways just by waking up by the grace of God and, you know, doing your music and going out and, you know, interacting with people and letting them know your struggle. Your nonprofit says and does and goes the extra mile. How long has that been in the works?
For a couple of years now. I started it late 2013. And,
okay.
We did an event in Tulsa, and it was pretty good. But we still in the process of, you know, still doing the groundbreaking work. It's a lot that goes into nonprofits.
It is. It's a whole different struggle, yeah, than just a regular organization. Yeah, it's a whole different realm because nonprofit is like, Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a big deal, but I think it's needed. And I think now with a lot of the, you know, the things that's been going on in the news, you don't really hear too much about bullying and things like that because I think it's being overshadowed with a lot of the issues that's going on today, which are still important issues. But it's almost like, you know, we can create a new cause every week because so much is going on. And right now, today, it's, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, unarmed young black men are being killed by police officers.
Yeah.
And it's a sad situation because we are looked at as a threat. And I remember when I was 18 and 19, and I would get harassed by officers all the time. Even in the neighborhood I stayed in, it was a shooting down the street. And so I happened to walk outside and, you know, look in my car for my phone charger, and the police happened to be riding by. And for some reason, I guess he assumed I was the one doing the shooting, but I'm in a tank top and flip-flops in front of my house.
Okay.
You would know it was my house if you was in the neighborhood, but since you're not, you just assume I'm a threat. And he hopped out and put the gun out on me.
What?
Yeah. He didn't even ask me any questions. He immediately called for backup when he saw me and just hopped out with his gun drawn and told me to get on the ground. And so we hear stories a lot as teenagers, even as adults, but as teenagers we hear stories a lot about how the police set this person up, how this person got beat up by the police, how this happened, that happened. So immediately we begin to get into a state of, if we've done nothing wrong, there's no reason for me to respond to get down on the ground. And so in my mind, if I get down on the ground, I'm admitting guilt to something. You're going to cuff me and take me to jail. I'm not getting down on the ground. What did I do? And so I'm standing up with my hands up and yelling at me to get on the ground. And I'm like, for what? What did I do? And if it wasn't...
And you're in front of your house. You know what I'm saying? You're in front of your house. Like, if it was you that did that, you wouldn't be standing in front of your own crib, and you wouldn't be reaching into your car for a charger. So, I mean, that's so wild. Like, I can't, just being a woman, I can't fathom that. And I know that's your struggle almost every day, all day. What did the police officer end up, what was the outcome? What happened?
Yeah, it was pretty bad, especially when I was younger. Right now, I don't deal with too much. You know, I can't even remember the last time I was pulled over by an officer, and when I was, you know, it was very, very nice and very straight to the point. But when I was a lot younger, around 18, 19, 20, I dealt with a lot. I mean, I would even get pulled over for driving too slow.
Right.
And they would want to search my entire car because the vehicle I was driving, you know, was maybe a little too expensive for a 19-year-old to drive. It just petty stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, it gets to the point where even now as an adult, I used to get a lot of issues when different parts of the neighborhood that I would work,
Uh-huh.
I may be in one neighborhood, and people would just ask me, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Wow, really?" You know, and I know where it's coming from.
Right. And they're looking at you all sideways like, I mean, do you live here? Like, what are you even doing on this side of, on this side of town? Like, it's like it's kind of like that analogy they had back in the day where they would just pull you over because you was driving while you were black. So let me just pull him over because I know he got something on him. I know he's doing something. I know something's wrong. So let me just make my quota for the month and pull him over and just, mess with him just to mess with him. Like, and I feel like that is, like, going on again right now in this day and age. I think we've come back to that in a full circle. Like, I think it might die down a little bit from the time that you had it so heavy and kind of, mulled out. But then with everything that's transpired over the past couple of years, it's been on fire. I can't believe that it has not been an uproar of how we have been treated as a people, as a group, as a just because of your color. That is so wild to me on so many levels.
Yeah, and it's sad. And what people don't realize is that, last year somebody, questioned you because of your color. Last month somebody questioned you because of your color. And then now this officer's questioning you because of your color. Right now you're about ready to snap.
Okay.
And so I watched that movie Crash. I don't know if you've seen it.
I saw it.
Where the guy get pulled over while they're trying to steal his vehicle, and so he hops out in a blunt rage. He's upset, and his anger is really towards the police officers because of a specific officer, harassed him and his wife.
Right.
And so at this moment, he's being very belligerent. He's being aggressive. And these officers who have no idea what he went through the previous weeks before are ready to shoot him because he don't want to get down and put his hands up. And if it wasn't for that officer who knew what he was dealing with and who didn't feel guilty, it probably would have ended bad for him. And so I look at that particular scene in the movie, and I say, now apply this to every situation that we've seen or heard in the news about, police brutality or anything that's going wrong and we don't understand the whole story. And a lot of times people look and say, well, why didn't they just do what the officer said?
Well,
my question to that is, after you've been harassed for so long for nothing, are you going to keep allowing things like that to happen, or are you going to be frustrated and outraged?
Right.
And it's a very unfortunate situation, but people never really realize the issues that people gain from, repetitiveness, from the ignorance of other individuals, and it creates a ticking time bomb.
It does, and in so many ways, it affects you as a youth, and you carry that as you grow up. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? What I think that, and I have heard this a couple of times, it's like our black men grow up and they grow into men, and then they still have that anger because nothing has changed. And they're still getting the same thing that they got before, so they become inside that angry black man syndrome where they can't shake that. And they're always looking over their shoulders, and they're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And that's that's so, like, wrong, because people don't know what their struggle has been and what they've been through to make it to the point that they're at right now, like that they're even still alive. So it's like it's a constant battle, and it shouldn't be like that, because he gave his life up so we could be happy, so we could live down here and be free, so that we did not have to go through what he went through. So at the end of the day, it's just like, really? Like, you guys don't have anything better to do than pick on somebody because you don't like the way their hair looks, or they're dreaded up, or they got their locks, or they're too dark, or you might think that they're smoking something because you just think you got that thinking, and you just are assuming. Yeah. And people's mindset bleeds into that youth, that bleeds into that teenager, that bleeds into that man that can't shake that feeling. So what is it that you have done to, to stay in that zone where, it's not like you're carefree, but it's like you don't have that chip on your shoulder?
It's just through prayer. It's also understanding that, everybody's not like that.
Right.
Every officer, is not out to stereotype me. Everybody is not out to get me. Basically understanding that it's not a conspiracy against me because of the way I look. Sometimes that does exist. I've dealt with it in school with some of my college professors. And what I do is I love seeing the look on people's faces when they stereotype me, and they really feel like when they really find out who I am. When they really find out that, okay, just because he may walk and talk a certain way doesn't make him this. And I love seeing the look on their faces. So that gives me more joy than, feeding into the negativity.
Into that madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can, it's just like innately, like we can feed into that madness because we've been through that struggle, and the struggle is still going on. But it really takes a strong person to really, look the other way and make them really, at the end of the day, eat crow when they figure out what they said, who they said it to, and how disrespectful were they. Hopefully they sit back and they think about it, and they know that they're in the wrong, and they say their own prayer and ask for forgiveness. And you are great for having that mindset and being able to keep it moving and be able to, to kind of just shrug it off and just be like, I know me. I know who I am as an individual. I know who I am, and I have a higher power, and I know what I do every day. So you don't feed into that madness. So that is a blessing within itself, and it takes a strong mind to be able to do that at this day and age, at this point in time. So I just want to say, you're really making changes. You're giving back. You're just, you did like a whole kind of like 360, and here you are. And you are humble. You're down to earth. You're very open-minded, and you can flow. Like, so, at the end of the day, kudos to your parents and, and your support system and everybody around you, because, it takes a village to raise a child. And I don't think everybody understands that. Even if it's not your own child, it still takes a village. It can't just be one person. Yeah. And with me saying that, before Jerry does the robot on me, I'm going to say, Jerry, yeah, because I'm excited. Let's hear the third song. Yeah. Jerry?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, the third song is called what? What is it called?
Here I Am to Worship. It's the title track to the EP.
Uh-huh.
And it's a sample to the original Here I Am to Worship by Chris Tomlin. And we reproduced it, put some heavy drum kicks in it, and I had my friend Matt throw some vocals on the hook.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm looking forward to definitely hearing it. I'm a little excited. So
ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Let's go. I hear that flow.
Lord, I just want to say thank you for sending your son down to die for my sins. Even though I messed up and I get it wrong, you love me unconditionally. So here I am, all I have is you, a sinner saved by grace, but is that really true? Cause I still feel in love with what I used to do, and I don't feel a change, but my heart yearns for you. I don't feel complete, even when it's going right. When I'm missing you, Lord, please come into my life. Loving you the real test, not to love you to get blessed. And yes, I know that you the best. So here I am to worship, sacrifice my life so you can work it. How you see fit for your glory is worth it. Everything else can take a backseat. Running to your throne for your mercy like a track meet. Why you have to ask me? I don't understand. Without you, Lord, how can I be a real man? I ain't gonna try. I give you all of me, Lord, and ride till I die. Put my knees to the floor.
To worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
So here I am, all I have is me. Still to this day, it feel make-believe. Why would you save me? I stoned you to death. I made you bleed on your cross to your last breath. Lord, was I really worth it? Cause apart from you, my life is all worthless. Ain't no point in working, cause it's all in vain. Without a real purpose, I really need to change. I don't know how, it's amazing that you even called me. Lord, I'm in RC, my struggles still haunt me. Random women every night, just to feel wanted. To feel like a man, cause my daddy didn't want me. And the past pain, addicted to Mary Jane. Father on cocaine, money down the drain. Baby mama drama, got me going insane. I know I've been redeemed, but I don't feel a change.
Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
I'm paying homage to you, Father, that's my only option. After you ripped the veil and gave me the gospel, so I could see the truth, so I could walk with you. And that's the greatest thing that anyone could ever do. You really saved my life when I was worst at it, an addict on any level for pleasure, pain, and passion. I could never grasp it, cause it's never lasting. But Lord, you everlasting. I burn my flesh to ashes so I can walk with you. Your love is unconditional. So even though I struggle with my past, you still see me through. Sometimes I get it wrong, I fail plenty times, but I get back up and I ride. Your son lived and died for my eternal life. So now I'm still tight. God inside, you give me light. Now I'm saying I will fight. All my pain, hurt, and my struggles in my past life. Lord, you wipe away my tears every night.
Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you are my God. You're altogether lovely, God, and altogether worthy, God, and altogether wonderful, so wonderful to
Positive Power 21.org. Internet radio.
You are listening to Positive Power 21.org with Jerry Royce.
I love those little kids, Jerry. I love those little kids.
Yeah, I know you do.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them. I'm be cracking up every time I hear that. Okay, let me just say that I just put a stamp right before that song came on and told you what I read and what I've heard. You just said it in the song. Like, you are down to earth. You are humble. You know, like, even with the baby mama drama, even with everybody pulling you left and right, even with, the demons on your back, you kept it moving. So at the end of the day, you are, rightfully in your own. You come, like I said yet again, full circle to be that person that knows definitely what their purpose is. And I don't see you doing anything but rising to the top and getting better, because you hone your craft and you have beautiful, beautiful people around you that makes you innately beautiful to be able to spit those lyrics in the way that you do and touch so many people's lives. And you enjoy it. You enjoy interacting with the crowd. You feed off their energy. So they feed off of you. So at the end of the day, I always say, reach one, teach one. And you've reached many and you've taught many a lot of different things. And I hope that a lot of young brothers and older, because, you can learn something new every day, look at the footsteps that you have and the challenges that you've overcome and went through and became the man that you are today. And I appreciate you coming on Tea Time Thursdays and sharing with us your story, your plight, how you got there, and where you are today. And you are, welcome on Tea Time at any point in time to come back and give us a refresher of what's to come, because you're only going to get better. And you only going to get stronger, and you're nothing but like a spring chicken. So, you got time under your belt where you can just grow and prosper and keep moving, rising to the top. So God bless you. And thank you very much for gracing us with your presence.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here. I've enjoyed myself, and you have been wonderful. You've been a wonderful host.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, she's so awesome.
Thank you, Jerry. Don't make me, get all blushy up. I'm all bright-skinned. I'm going to turn pink.
But we don't hear from you that often like we used to. We know you're doing so many networks, right now. We just get to talk to you on Thursdays,
Oh, shame the devil, Jerry. Shame the devil. Don't be lying like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because if there's some lightning around you, you might get struck.
See, Alcam, I think the last time I talked to her was when we had Kiani on the show, right?
Who? When you talked to who?
You.
Tim?
Wasn't that like 2 weeks ago? You.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago?
And remember, I was hitting you some hot spots. I was hitting you from Starbucks because I was in a bundle with my internet, with my phone, and if one goes down, they all go down. So I'm trying to hit you from Starbucks, from Wendy's, get my work done, and trying to, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying?
I know. All right. Well, you ready to go? We're going to let Alcam go and publish this show tonight so everybody get a chance to enjoy it. This overseas who didn't get the number, right? Because everybody didn't get the number.
Because you changed the number, right?
Yeah, they changed the number on me. Your girl Michelle had told me they were going to change the number, but they really did. The number been there, It just that nobody was using it because we were so used to the other number. So I can never remember this number. It has to be written down somewhere.
Yeah, because I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to find it right before. It was like 629. And I was like, where's that number?
I know. And I gave him a wrong access code, which is always the same. But we really appreciate you coming on here, man, and
absolutely.
Time. And of course, we're gonna work you through the network, man. So we're gonna work you, man. Get everybody an opportunity to get to know you, hear your story, and hear your music, man. So we appreciate you being here. We really do. Blessing us. All right.
Nah, thank you, man. It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure.
I know you was fighting a little cold too, man, but you know it's all good. It's all good, man. Good story.
Yeah,
excellent story.
It came at a wrong time because I was really ready to, get in the studio last couple of days, and I can't record like this.
Yeah, but you can write for days. Like you own your stuff, right? You own your reels. You got your reels. You can write all day, and then just put it down, and then come out of the box, and won't nobody expect it. But boom, you got 5 albums. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing about writing and recording, you can write a song, and you really never know how good it's going to sound until you put it on wax. And
right.
So that'd be the biggest thing. Writing something is not the hard part. It's making sure that it comes out the way that I want it to. And so I love just recording. I love that feeling of going in the studio, because you really didn't create it until you put it on wax. I mean, yeah, you wrote it, but if you found my notebook of lyrics, you probably going to say it a totally different way than the way it's supposed to be said. So it's really not put in the essence of what it is until you record it. And it brings a whole new light to the recording process. So I love creating like that, just getting in the studio and recording.
Well, it's about a team. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be about your producer. It's got to be about, your beat. You got to feel it, because if you don't feel it, you know what I'm saying, the same energy is not going to be there. And you will sit there and, most artists, really are really definite on how they want something to sound, and will do it over and over and over again till they hear that sound. They don't care how long they're in the studio. It doesn't matter, but they want it to come out the way they want it, because that's their baby. That's their craft. That's what they've been honing. And so you just don't want something to come out just half of what you wanted it to be. So I completely understand you sitting back, and I know it's probably killing you. It's killing you that you can't be in the studio, but drink some lemon water and, cleanse your system. Get some heat, flush it out, and you'll be good in like 5 days. And look, I can get doctor checks too.
Yeah, she knows what she's saying. All right, well, we're going to end the show with my favorite song. But you know what? It's funny because I love more than a metaphor, but it's just something about Here I Am, the worship that kind of really... It mellows you out and really makes you really kind of reminisce or even think about where you're going, where you want to go. Yeah, that's a deep piece, man. I congratulate you on that piece, man. Because looked like T call drop. But, man, I really thought that more than the metaphor was my psalm until I heard Here I Am, the worship. So that's a really awesome piece, man. Congratulations to you, man, and being part of Sector 7 also. That's going to be a good move. And we hope to do some more work with you in the future, man. Like I said, I get you on my show, so we'll work on that. I'll send you a chance to heal up a little bit with your cold, and maybe we get you on in about 2 weeks. That sound good?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, awesome. Because I go places where T don't go. Mostly I talk a lot about, online marketing, your audience, where you've been, where you see yourself going in business, that kind of thing. So I talk a lot about business. Of course, T and the other girls, they like to talk a lot about empowerment, which is awesome, but I'll get that out in the beginning, okay? All right, man. Any questions before we go? You want to give everybody final thoughts?
Say it again.
I said you want to give the audience your final thoughts on tonight's show?
Yeah, for for anybody listening, just know that first and foremost, trust God in whatever it is that you're doing. Love God and love those around you, and make sure that whatever you believe in, whatever you feel that God is calling you to do, embrace it 100%. Don't let it go. Don't give it up. Protect it until God can start watering that dream and let it grow.
Amen. Awesome, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, T not here, so I'm going to end the show for her. You listen to Tea Time with T. Spence and Jerry Royce Live worldwide on positivepower21.org. Don't forget, guys, you can listen to all of T's shows. She's archived right on Spreaker Radio. That's right. You can get Spreaker Radio at Spreaker.com. That's SPREAKER.com. And just type in Jerry Royce Live, and then you can pull up the whole playlist, and you'll see all of everybody who's categorized, including T. Spence. Or you can go to positivepower21.org and go on the channel. You'll find T. That's right. I think she's number one on the channel. Yeah, number one. And you'll get a chance to go to her page, her channel, and you get a chance to listen to all the shows that she has published on positivepower21.org. And you can just go ahead and do a marathon. That's right. It's all good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. We're going out on Here I Am to Washington. We thank again Alcam for being part of positivepower21.org with Tea Time. All right, everybody. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
All right, we're going out.
Lord, I just want to say thank you for sending your son down to die for my sins. Even though I messed up and I get it wrong, you love me unconditionally. So here I am, all I have is you, a sinner saved by grace, but is that really true? Cause I still feel in love for what I used to do, and I don't feel a change, but my heart yearns for you. I don't feel complete, even when it's going right. When I'm missing you, Lord, please come into my life. Loving you the real test, not to love you to get blessed. And yes, I know that you the best. So here I am to worship, sacrifice my life so you can work it. How you see fit for your glory is worth it. Everything else can take a backseat. Running to your throne for your mercy like a track meet. Why you have to ask me? I don't understand. Without you, Lord, how can I be a real man? I ain't gon' try. I give you all of me, Lord, and ride till I die. Put my knees to the floor.
To worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
So here I am, all I have is me. Still to this day, it feel make-believe. Why would you save me? I stoned you to death. I made you bleed on your cross to your last breath. Lord, was I really worth it? Cause apart from you, my life is all worthless. Ain't no point in working, cause it's all in vain. Without a real purpose, I really need to change. I don't know how, it's amazing that you even called me. Lord, I'm in RC, my struggles still haunt me. Random women every night, just to feel wanted. To feel like a man, cause my daddy didn't want me. And the past pain, addicted to Mary Jane. Father on cocaine, money down the drain. Baby mama drama got me going insane. I know I've been redeemed, but I don't feel a change.
Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down. Here I am to say that you're my God. You're altogether lovely, altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me. Here I am to worship. Here I am to bow altogether worthy, altogether wonderful to me.
I'm paying homage to you, Father, that's my only option. After you ripped the veil and gave me the gospel, so I could see the truth, so I can walk with you. And that's the greatest thing that anyone can ever do. You really saved my life when I was worst at it, an addict on any level for pleasure, pain, and passion. I could never grasp it, cause it's never lasting. But Lord, you everlasting. I burn my flesh to ashes so I can walk with you. Your love is unconditional. So even though I struggle with my past, you still see me through. Sometimes I get it wrong, I fail plenty times, but I get back up and I ride. Your son lived and died for my eternal life. So now I'm still tight. God inside, you give me light. Now I'm saying I will fight all my pain, hurt, and my struggles in my past life. Lord, you wipe away my tears every night.
Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you are my God. You're altogether lovely God, and altogether worthy God, and altogether wonderful.
Thank you for tuning in to Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org and Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. This is a Royce Enterprises production. And don't forget about replay on Facebook.com/Jerry Royce Live. All right, stay awesome all week long.